Hi, welcome to Reconciliation in Romans. I'm your instructor, Sarah Warnock-Farrand. Before we get going in our course outline, I wanted to tell you a little bit about who I am. First, I'm married to my husband, Mark. He's my best friend. We've been married for just over 4 years now, and this is us before we got engaged. This is us at our engagement. He's my best friend. I love him. Couldn't do a life without him. He has a 10-year-old son named Tyler, and I did not know how much I would love being a stepmom, but it has been a true joy. This is a picture of Mark and Tyler. Tyler is adventurous. He loves Nerf wars and Legos, and he's all about dinosaurs. He wants to be a paleontologist when he grows up, and he's a sponge for learning. He's an incredible kid who I just adore. This is a picture of the two of us this last summer. This is a picture of my motorcycle. I love motorcycling. It's just an awesome way to unplug and vent and explore the world. So I love motorcycling. I also am a gamer. I love video games and board games. And so I'm a big nerd like that. I usually tell people that Mark and I are both nerds, but in very different ways. For example, he can walk into a room, understand the trigonometry of the space, and design and build an amplifier to produce a specific sound. And I know a lot about Star Trek. So we're nerds in very different ways. We have a dog named June. She is a sheepadoodle, which is half Old English sheepdog, half standard poodle. This is a picture of her as a puppy. This is a picture of her in the window. She's very fluffy. She looks bigger than she is. She just has an enormous amount of hair. And this is a little bit more of an adult picture of June. We added her to our family last year, and she has just been a great ball of fun for us. So that's sort of a quick introduction to who I am. You'll have the opportunity to know a little bit more about me as we go through the semester, because the lectures are really more about storytelling. And so I tell stories from my life and how they pertain to the lesson that we have learned that week about reconciliation. So this is our course site. I'm assuming that you are all familiar with Moodle and with the Life Pacific College's web pages, but if you're not, over here on the left-hand side are the different weeks that we have, different content during each week. So pay very close attention to what Moodle says, because that can help guide your whole week. As you see, I've got something due Monday night, something due Tuesday night, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So be on the Moodle site every day if you can and understand what's going on around you. So let's look at our course our course outline. This is my email address up here, and this is my phone number, my cell phone number. If you want to get a hold of me, the fastest way to do that is to text me, but you're welcome to call or email anytime. And let's see, we will be going not through the entirety of Romans, but we'll be focusing on passages within Romans 1 through 5. And we'll be looking at a number of different articles that supplement the Bible to help us have a broad view of what's going on during the book of Romans. I'll have you read through a portion of this course outline on your own, but I wanted to talk about course requirements. So to accomplish the goal of completing this course, you have interpretation assignments that will be due, and I'll walk you through what those will look like. We have a lot of reading to do in this class. There will be several articles available on Moodle that are not in the books that I'm requiring you to purchase. But the books that you will be purchasing are books that you can use hopefully for the rest of your life in different areas of ministry. We have a weekly forum, which is very like other courses, especially with the degree completion program. So we'll be taking an opportunity to invest in each other and listening to each other's stories through the forum. And then there's a final paper based on the theology of reconciliation, based on the word katologe, which is Greek for reconciliation. So let's look at the course grading. 20% of your total grade comes from forum interaction. It is imperative that you are involved in the forums. You have 4 interpretation assignments that equal 50% of your grade. There is an overview assignment worth 5% of your grade, and a reconciliation final paper, which is worth 25% of your grade. And let's look at the course format. This lays out for us how the week will progress, and what the things during each week are that you have to pay close attention to. So it's expected that you're working 12 to 15 hours a week on this course. And like I said before, accessing the course several times a week, maybe even more than 4. So the first thing that you'll want to do each week is watch the video presentations. Like I said before, they're really more about storytelling than they are just lecturing you on the book of Romans. That's simply a preference of mine. I believe story is important, and I want to invest in your stories as you invest in the stories of your community. Let's look at the forum. There will be 2 questions posted each week, and each student is required to answer each of the questions in an initial post. So 2 initial posts. And then what you're going to do is go to question 1 and respond to 2 students' initial posts, and then you go to question 2 and respond to 2 students' initial posts. So you're making a total of 6 posts. 2 initial posts, 4 response posts. And the object of the forum discussions are to give you an opportunity to express what you're learning and what's coming up to you as you're doing these assignments and the readings and watching the video presentations. And online learning is a really awesome opportunity, and hopefully you've discovered this already. It's an awesome opportunity to contribute your voice to an overall story. So I love forum discussions. When I was working on my master's, I loved taking classes that were I love taking classes that were online based for that reason. We have 2 different types of assignments. We have an overview assignment that is due this week, the first week. In this assignment, students will read the book of Romans in one sitting and then construct a rough outline. They will then note the most significant points based on Matera's text, and we'll talk about which text Matera's is. And then there are 4 interpretation assignments, and like this says here, there's a variety of micro assignments within the assignment, and we'll talk about some of the pieces of the interpretation assignments so you have an idea of what to expect. And then the final paper, this is a 4 to 6 page synthesis of the findings that you develop after analyzing the katologe word group, and we will talk more about that also. So the course textbooks are Martin and Hawthorne's Dictionary of Paul and His Letters, Keener's The IVP Bible Background Commentary, New Testament, Frank J. Matera's Romans. This is a really awesome book on the book of Romans. And then one that is not a commentary is Sung-Chan Ra's Many Colors. This is a really interesting book that talks about how to conduct a church culture, being mindful of how cultural intelligence is playing a part in how you minister to a specific community. There's no other book like it. It's really interesting. You won't be writing a lot about it until the very end, so I encourage you to stay on top of the reading as it is prescribed and described every week. You will not want to get behind on that for the final project. So something that's really important about me that you should know is that I do not accept late work unless you come to me beforehand and you have a legitimate reason for needing to be late, like a family emergency or illness. I don't want students to get behind. It's only a 5-week course. If you get behind 1 week, it throws everything out of sync for the rest of the term, and I don't want that for you. So style policy, like other courses, we're going to be using MLA. Involvement is imperative, and that is, we're largely talking about forum discussions when we're talking about involvement. So regarding feedback, my goal is to get feedback to you on your interpretation assignments and all of your assignments within a week that they are submitted. I suffer from chronic migraines and sometimes need a little bit of grace with my schedule, just like I'll give you a little bit of grace if you ask for it. And I will always let you know ahead of time. I'll say, hey, I'm going to be a little bit behind this week on grading, so please give me grace. But you should expect to hear from me otherwise within a week with interpretation and feedback. I'm an open book and have an open door policy through Skype and FaceTime. So if you would like to meet with me for any reason, we can use the internet to make that happen. I love storytelling. I love talking with people and getting to know and investing in them. And so if we need to do that, then let's make that happen. I reserve the right to make adjustments to the course schedule, assignments, and assessment, etc. I haven't had to do this in the past several years of teaching this class, but I keep this clause in here just in case it is necessary. When it comes to plagiarism is a huge deal, and it's something that could cost you your very expensive education. So we take it very seriously. It's important that when you're talking about someone else's work that you're giving them due credit, even if you're paraphrasing them. So that's important. Please make sure that you're doing that. And then academic honesty goes along with plagiarism. What's interesting about the degree completion program is at the end of each course you're asked to verify that all the work you've done for the course has been your own. And there will be a place for you to submit that at the end of the semester. Students with disabilities are encouraged to take advantage of opportunities for accommodations and adjustments. We love everyone and we want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can, and I am rooting for you and the rest of the Life Pacific staff is rooting for you. So if this is something you need to take advantage of, then please do so. You can read about my teaching approach. Let's look at the course schedule. So the way this is laid out is there are 5 sections for each week, one for each week. And we have a basic topic that we're discussing, and then you'll find all the reading. So we're reading for the interpretation assignment, you're reading Romans 1 through 7, and 16 through 17. But then you have all these other readings that you need to make sure that you're keeping up with. The Christina Cleveland article is found on Moodle, so these other ones are in your textbooks that you have purchased or that you have online or in software, and this will be on Moodle. So due Wednesday night are your initial forum posts. Remember, there are 2 questions. You must answer each question. Some of them aren't actually questions, they're just opportunities for you to answer and post your thoughts. Due Friday night are responses to students' posts. Remember, you're giving 2 responses to question 1 and 2 responses to question 2. And then due Sunday at midnight Pacific Standard Time are going to be your overview assignments and your interpretation assignment number 1. Again, if you need an extension, talk to me well in advance if possible. Otherwise, I'm going to be very stern about my no late work policy. And then I think that's all. There is a bibliography available to you. If you're interested in more of what we're talking about, you can check out the bibliography and find other texts that might be applicable to what you're trying to learn. So that's our course outline. Let's look at the way this is set up. Is I give you assignment instructions, but on the interpretation assignment I've actually given you 2 samples and an observation guide and the laws of composition guide. These are really important for you to look at, all 4 of these, to have a clear understanding of what I'm asking from you. And then again, if there is any confusion, please don't hesitate to contact me. I want to help you succeed in this class. So I think that's all for now. Make sure by Tuesday night to post to our introductions forum. I recognize that a lot of you already know each other because you're in a cohort. So in this forum, I want to get to know you, so tell me something about you, but think of something that your classmates don't know about you. We'll make that interesting. Don't just do the same old copy and paste from the previous introduction forum. So I think this is all. I want you to know that I pray for you, I care about you, I care about the content of this course because it's been transformative for me, and I pray that it is for you and your families and your communities. So let me know if there's any way that I can help you succeed. I want to. Many blessings.